Welcome back. We mentioned both of Jean's mothers spoke earlier this afternoon, just minutes after Amber Guyger's sentencing, and she had strong words about the city of Dallas.
Larry Collins was with the Jean family today, and he joins us now from the courthouse. Larry?
Well, the Jean family, compassionate but stern. They called for forgiveness, but they also called for action. Allison Jean, the matriarch of this family, took the mantle. She has been in front of this since the day after Amber Guyger shot and killed their son. Quite apropos that we talk about their reaction after we heard from Police Chief Renee Hall, because Ms. Jean emphatically told the people of Dallas that there is a systematic problem within the Dallas Police Department. But she didn't stop there. She doubled down. She said that the Texas Rangers need to be aware of who is in their ranks. She's alluding to investigator David Armstrong, who testified that he thought that Amber Guyger was justified in her actions. Remember, this is a family deeply rooted in faith. They say that 10-year sentence is a time for Amber Guyger to reflect and to grow. The family now ready to move on, but they say they give a charge to the people of Dallas. I want to give you a chance to hear exactly what Allison Jean said before leaving the courthouse today.
Yesterday, we saw the conviction of Amber Guyger, and today we heard the sentence of 10 years in prison. That 10 years in prison is 10 years for her reflection and for her to change her life. But there is much more to be done by the city of Dallas. The corruption that we saw during this process must stop. And it must stop for you. Because after now, I leave Dallas. But you live in Dallas. Yes. And it must stop for everyone. Yes. The contamination of a crime scene that we saw coming out of this case is one that must never happen again.
I want to call your attention one more time to what Chief Renee Hall just said. She said, quote, Dallas is a different city than it was a year ago, but still for the Jean family, they say that's not enough. There is work that needs to be done. They will go back to St. Lucia. They say the ball is now in the court of the people of Dallas. We're live this morning, live in Dallas. Larry Collins, NBC5.
Yeah, it seems that Chief Hall perhaps has heard Allison Jean's message tonight. Thank you, Larry. Dallas County's district attorney just spoke about the sentence.
Jack Guyger was inside the courthouse. Jack, what did he say?
Yeah, the Dallas County District Attorney speaking publicly about this case for the first time since Amber Guyger was convicted of murder and, of course, sentenced to 10 years in prison. DA John Creuzot said he's satisfied and trusts the jury's decision, praising his prosecutors for getting this conviction. He did say he was a little surprised by the length. And when it comes to that emotional moment in court, the hug between both of Jean's brother and Amber Guyger, he said he's never seen anything like it.
I don't think there's anything to complain about when you look at how the case was tried and the instructions that were given that benefited her. And the jury has spoken, so I think that whoever's unsatisfied will just hopefully they can get satisfied. And in fact, I tell you what, if they could go back and look at that young man, embrace her, and see where healing is, if they can see his healing, maybe they can find some of their own.
And it's worth noting, based on what we heard from Chief Hall, internal affairs of the Dallas Police Department getting involved, it's worth considering that internal affairs investigations often remain largely private, concealed within the department. It's the place of the district attorney sometimes to get involved. John Creuzot was asked about that and said moments ago that at this point there are no investigations from his office. Reporting live in Dallas, Jack Guyger, NBC5.
All right, Jack, thank you. You know, some activists feel the sentence is too short. Want to get to that. They chanted, no justice, no peace, in the hallways of the Frank Crowley Courthouse, and we will likely see more protests.
Katie Blakey is outside the courthouse for us. Katie, what are you seeing? What might we expect?
Well, you can see behind me here, Brian, that a crowd is already starting to form. They're expected to gather here at 6:30 here outside the courthouse. They were upset with that 10-year sentence for Amber Guyger, and they're calling for justice reforms as well as reforms within the Dallas Police Department. Let's show you the moments just after that sentence was announced. This was the scene in the hallway when it was revealed that jurors had decided to sentence Amber Guyger to 10 years in prison. Supporters of the John family wearing red, like you just heard, marching through the hallway chanting "No justice, no peace." Take a listen to their reaction to the punishment.
This system is not designed for us. It will never work for us. We will never receive the equal justice that we deserve. And all of us are here. We're here today because we want to make changes. 10 years is not enough. Both in John's life matter.
And like we said, activists said they will be here at 6:30 to continue their cries for justice. We've noticed more people arriving here in the last 10 minutes, and they're calling for a number of things: better oversight for police shootings, also a look into how those police shootings are investigated, and then their repeated calls. They are asking that the Dallas Police Association president step down from his post. We will be here tonight. We'll watch everything that unfolds outside the courthouse. Live tonight, Katie Blakey, NBC5.
All right, Katie, thank you. Criminal defense attorney Ray Jackson joins us now in studio.
Ray, your take on this 10-year sentence?
Yeah, I was surprised by the 10-year sentence. I think that I've been doing this 23 years. I've handled hundreds of murder cases. Very few murder cases get 10 years, but there's a range. It's 5 to 99 or life. And some cases a jury may determine is worth 5 to 10 years. I didn't think this one was.
I want to talk about bond. You mentioned
Sure.
in studio a bit ago that Amber Guyger, if she files an appeal, could be out on bond?
Sure, she could be entitled to an appeal bond. The jury gave her 10 years. 10 years or less, you're entitled to an appeal bond if you appeal. Doesn't mean that she'll be given one, but she could get an appeal bond. She could be out.
And you think she'll appeal?
10 years? I don't know if she'd appeal 10 years, but she may.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, fascinating possibility, though. Ray Jackson, thank you so much for your insight. We
Thank you
really
for having me.
appreciate it. And our coverage of the Amber Guyger story, of course, will continue throughout the evening and online.
Yeah, we are always covering it on NBCDFW.com and our free app. Also, we'll have a full wrap of today's events on NBC5 News at 10. Have a great evening.